Well, what this proposal does is give more power to the Australian Communications and Media Authority to stamp out misinformation and disinformation.
The key recommendation that came out of this ACMA report released earlier this week is for a new group comprised of big business, big government and unelected bureaucrats called the Misinformation and Disinformation Action Group. This will become Australia's ministry.
Very 1984 indeed.
1984, and I was just about to say it will be Australia's Ministry for Truth.
We have to remember this is also a bipartisan effort. Labor proposed and pushed for this because of the 2019-2020 bushfires. Too many people were saying that arsonists and fuel loads had to do with the fires that happened rather than climate change.
The issue here is that it's not the role of the government to be deciding what is the truth and what is not the truth. It's not the role of government to be deciding what can be debated and what cannot be debated. And it's just another example of how this government has only a very tenuous relationship to liberal values and Australian values, with freedom of speech at the absolute centre of that.
This is the Morrison government's Finkelstein moment, in the same way that Julia Gillard and Stephen Conroy tried to censor the media. Scott Morrison and Paul Fletcher are trying to stamp out opinion online. This proposal would make Paul Fletcher the worst communications minister since Stephen Conroy. We both know this is not about accuracy. This is about filtering out what can and cannot be said online, filtering the terms of the debate within the politically correct guidelines.
The acceptable parameters of debate are being reduced, and the walls are closing in on mainstream Australians in terms of the forums and platforms they have to voice their views. And this is a threat to not only our democracy, but it undermines the Australian way of life. You know, our way of life is egalitarian. It's based on the idea that everybody in this country, no matter what their last name is, no matter how much money they have, no matter their job title, gets to have their say on the big issues facing our nation's future.